She said, we don't have any TV, we don't have any couch, we sit on the floor. I was like, girl, I do not care about that. Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rita Lawani, and if you're a returning subscriber, I just want to say thank you so much for coming back. And if this is the first time seeing my face, I just wanted to say you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so you're the first to be notified when I post a video. Before we get into the video, have you ever had a friend who just ghosted you, whether they're a best friend, your regular friend, or like an acquaintance? Because it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. We all know that. I actually believe that friendships breakups, like, they are the worst. They hurt way more than heartbreak. To me, that's what I feel. For the sake of this video, I'm not gonna call any names. We're gonna call this ex-best friend of mine Shayla. So I met Shayla in freshman year of high school. She was very sweet. I think I'm gonna tell you guys the race just so you guys know how weird the friendship was and why we just clicked so fast. I met her, if I remember correctly, I met her in front of this class. So I had this class that was between 11 to 12:15, and it was Mondays and Wednesdays, and I had another class on the Tuesdays and Thursdays. But long story short, we both had the same class schedule. We both had the same exact schedule for the semester. The only different thing was I had a class with a different professor. The English course that I was taking at the time was with a different professor, and she had a different professor. The other two classes that we had in the semester, we both had the same professors. So she was actually Filipino. Yes, guys, she was Filipino. She was from the Philippines, and she was very sweet and everything. She was very friendly and, you know, whatnot. She was just there. I met her in front of my class, and we just clicked. We just started talking. She asked me what classes I was taking, and I told her, and she was like, oh my god, I have the exact same classes. I was like, oh wow. And we just started talking. We clicked from there. We had this math course. What actually brought us really close was the math class that we were taking at the time. The professor was horrible, y'all. He was horrible. He was teaching so fast. I'm not gonna say he was horrible. He was just not a great professor for me, because, you know, like, different people, they have like different kind of teaching styles that they resonate with, and his teaching style just did not resonate with me. And I felt that was because I was not really a genius at math. If you were a genius at math, he would be the best professor for you, but I was not a genius at math. I was just an intermediate learner, so that's why it was hard for me dealing with the professor. So she and I both, we had a very hard time with the class. It was challenging for us, and the first test we did really bad, so you guys can imagine. So this math class was what brought I and this girl close. So we started being friends. You know, we would talk every day. She would text me every morning and say, hey, are you on your way to school? And I would say, yay, I'm on my way, and and we just became so close. After class, we had about an hour. No, we actually had an hour 15 minutes between our first class and our second class, so we had that free time between both classes. So after the first class, which was the class that we both had different professors, so it was the same exact time from 11 to 12:15, but it was just different professors. After I get off my class and she gets off her class, we have an hour 15 minutes before we go into the next class, a class that she and I both had. So we would go to the cafeteria, we would take a walk. Girl, we love Shake Shack. We would go to Shake Shack all the freaking time for every single day. 3 days in a week that we had classes, we would go to Shake Shack. We would, you know, eat a burger, just eat some good lunch, and then we would head over back to school for the second class. So that's how close we were, guys, every single day. It really got to a point where, because y'all, I don't know how to be friends and have boundaries. That's just something about me. When I say I'm your friend, I am your friend in every single sense of the word. I do not have any limits. There is nothing that I would not do for you. I would come through for you, whatever the situation may be. That's just the kind of friend that I am. I would literally displease myself to please a friend. That's just my kind of person. So I really grew attached to this girl, and she was always skipping classes, and I'm not the type to skip classes. But when, you know, your friend who's basically the only friend that you had in school was skipping classes, I did not see a need to not to say I did not see a need to not go to class, but it just weighed down on me just thinking about the fact that I would literally be in class the entire time and not, you know, speak to anybody, not have any conversation with anybody. So I would not go to class because she was skipping class. She would text me and say, "Hey Rita, I'm not going to class today, I don't feel like it." And I'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna stay home. That was wrong. Do not do that. If you have a friend that's skipping classes, please and please do not start skipping classes, because your friends are not going to be there, because that is bad for you. You're not going to get any good grades, and it's just going to become a habit, and that is not good at all. So guys, if you see me looking down in here, that is because I have a few points jotted out as to what to not do in friendships. Let's backtrack a little bit. So when she started skipping classes, I would not go to class either, and that was just becoming a thorn in my flesh, because I felt very uneasy. This is not the kind of person that I am, and I just felt like I was being, you know, turned into what I'm not. So I decided to, you know, start going to classes even if she wasn't coming. So I said, anytime she texted me to say, "Hey Rita, I'm not gonna be in class today," I'm like, "Okay, I hope you're okay. I'm gonna go to class." And you know, that was what it was. Although it was very hard at the first time, but then later on I got used to her not being in class and me actually being there. So after a class, so like after about a month into the semester, I actually had my birthday, and I invited her over to my house. Literally, I was not expecting her to call me out, because I didn't think she loved me that much, you know. Like I just, because you know, when you've been in toxic friendships so far, it's hard to tell who actually likes you for who you are and whatnot. So when I actually invited her to my house for my birthday party, I was not expecting her to come, but I was very shocked that she actually came. She came to my house, and we had an amazing time. We had a sleepover, and the next day she left. So when she left the next day, she told me, she said, "Hey, I'm actually gonna invite you over to my house." And I said, "Okay, no problem." And she said, "But there's a problem." I said, "What is it?" She said, "We don't have any TV, we don't have any couch, we sit on the floor." I was like, "Girl, I do not care about that." Like, I watch a lot of like Korean movies and Japanese movies. Like, they don't be having couches. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section. But I remember, like, if I'm watching like Korean movies and stuff, they sit on the floor and they just have the little table in front of them. I said, "Girl, I do not care. We have our phones, we could watch YouTube, we could binge watch Netflix, whatever the case may be. I do not care about you not having TV in your house, and I absolutely do not care about you having a room of your own either," because she was also concerned about the fact that she did not have a room to herself. And I said, "Girl, I do not care. I love you for who you are. We're friends. You're my best friend, whatever." And the crazy part is, I did not start the whole best friend thing. She started it. She actually took my phone and changed her name on my phone to Ride or Die, with like so many love emojis and stuff. Aww. This girl actually really likes me and wants to be my friend. So yes, moving into like about like a 2 months into the friendship, she started telling me about this guy that was at her job that she was crushing on. And I said, "Okay, if you're crushing on him, you can't, you know, like, just keep your cool." I'm just being a good best friend, giving her great advices. So I said, just keep your cool, be yourself. If it's meant to be, it will be. He will come and he would approach you, and then you guys can take it from there. So she said, yeah. So after about a week of us having that conversation, the guy actually reached out to her, like, and he asked for her number. The guy asked for her number and they started texting me. She was super excited. I was just so happy for her. That's just my kind of person. Even if I'm going through rough times relationship wise, I would always wish the best for my friend or sister or anybody that I'm completely around. So she told me that the guy asked her out on a date, and I was super thrilled for her, y'all. I was so thrilled for her, and I said, girl, you go, girl. Oh, make sure you wear a nice outfit, use some cologne. Oh, I was just, like hyping her up and stuff. And she said, yeah, sure. So she went on a date with the guy, and they had a really good time, a really good conversation. She came back and told me what had happened, and I said, okay, great. And then about 3 days after that, if I remember correctly, a few days, between 3 days to 5 days after she had gone on a date with the guy asked her out to be his girlfriend, but she never told me. He took her to like a restaurant, and he made the waiter write like, will you be my girlfriend, on like a plate with like caramel and stuff, which was very cute, and he bought her flowers, but she did not tell me that. She posted it on her Instagram story, and that is where I saw it. So with me being so sensitive and emotional, yeah, let me know if I overreacted and stuff, but that's just me. I couldn't help it. I watched her Instagram story, and I saw that the guy had asked her to be his girlfriend. So I responded to the Instagram story, and I said, oh my God, we're gonna call him Jack, y'all. And I said, oh my God, Jack asked you to be his girlfriend? And she said, yeah. And I said, oh my God, why didn't you tell me? I'm your best friend. Why am I finding out on your Instagram story? And she said, yeah, because I know that things are really not going well with you love-wise, so I did not want to share that information with you. And I'm like, really? I can't wrap my head around it. We basically tell each other everything, and then you get into a relationship and you don't want to tell me. She was like, yeah, I don't want you to feel bad. I said, no, there's no way on earth I'm gonna feel bad because you just got into a relationship and I'm having a hard time love-wise. I said, absolutely not. And she said, yes, I just did not feel like sharing that information, da, da, da. And I said, okay, no problem. I'm super excited for you. I'm super thrilled for you. And I just, hope that everything goes okay. I wish you the best. If you need anything, do not hesitate to let me know. And she was like, okay. The day after that, she did not text me out. I was waiting. She did not text me. I texted her. I don't have a problem with texting somebody. As long as you don't make me feel like I'm bothering you, I am super cool with that. So I texted her and say, hey girl, I miss you. What's going on? What's the update? And she was very cold.
That's suspicious.
I'm staying here wondering what the hell I did. I'm like, if I did anything, girl, please let me know. I'm sorry. So I started apologizing. She was like, you did not do anything, da da da. And I'm like, but why are you giving me the cold shoulders? That's very unlike you. And then she was just cold. She did not want to talk. If I texted her, she would take forever to respond. And I had to just step back, y'all. I had to just step back because at that point it was really affecting me, and I was just not having it. I was literally, becoming depressed and stuff because, like I said, she was the only friend that I had at the time. So it was very hard for me to be away from her, and her giving me an attitude, me not even knowing if I did anything, which I don't remember doing anything. I did not do anything. So for her to just completely ghost me like that, oh my God, it was heart-wrenching, y'all. It was so heartbreaking. I was devastated. I did not know how I got over that. But after some time, you're just like, no, I'm actually better than this. I deserve to have a friend who loves me for who I am, who's down for me, who is just there for me. And sometimes I just wish I had a friend like myself, because I'm such a good friend. I do not believe in, competitions and jealousy and stuff. If things are going well for you, I would be super excited for you and stuff like that. So after this incident, it's been very hard for me to actually open my heart and actually become friends with people. I still try my best, but I just suddenly have my guard up because I know how badly the friendship breakup affected me, and I never want to repeat of that. So ever since then, I just usually have my guard up. I do not start saying, hey, this is my best friend. I just match energy. I do not go above and beyond just to become best friends with this person. I just let it flow. Whatever energy they give me, I reciprocate that. And if the energy is not a good energy, I just walk away. So this friendship really affected me so badly. Just reflecting on what I learned from the experience and how it has shaped me so far, it has really made me into a very strong woman, because I have just been able to learn how to cope with certain situations, whether they're good or bad. And I just know that just love yourself no matter what. No one's gonna love you for who you are like you're gonna love yourself. Just make sure you love yourself Love yourself. I cannot stress this enough, y'all. I cannot stress this enough, y'all. Love yourself. Love God. Put yourself first in every situation. If you're a student, make sure you study hard, work hard. If you're a worker, make sure you work hard, get your money, get the bag, because that's the only thing that's not gonna wake up one morning and leave you. You know, like, friends can wake up one morning and decide not to be your friends anymore. They can leave you. Your education is not gonna leave you. Your degree is not gonna up and leave and say, hey, I'm out the door. No, it's not gonna do that. Your money is not gonna leave you. So always make sure you prioritize yourself first. Eat healthy. Find whatever works for you. Look for a new hobby. Just distract yourself. And you know, when friendships come, it's gonna come. And when it doesn't come, you just do you, and everything would turn out right. So that's the end of my story, y'all. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know down in the comment section below if you've had any friends who have ghosted you, or if you've had any acquaintances who stopped talking to you for no reason and you know that you didn't offend them. Please let me know in the comment section how you actually handled and got over that situation. Okay guys, until next time, bye.